This video is sponsored by Amino. The Amino app is a network of communities that lets you explore, discover, and obsess over the things you're into. Each Amino, like myself, has great content, the friendliest of people, and exciting events. The app is simple to use and you can find yourself connecting to whatever you're passionate about in a matter of moments. And to go further to explain how Amino stories work, well, they are long lasting and very searchable, much like YouTube content. Viewable to everyone in Amino, not just for followers. Centered around interests like video games, Marvel, DC, and so much more. Amino stories are shorter and faster paced, lasting between 60 and 150 seconds. And unlike stories on other platforms, Amino pays creators for stories they upload via daily active followers. I'm very excited to share with you my Amino story, which you should all watch as soon as possible. And as you can see, it's centered around a very controversial topic for Marvel Contest of Champions, which I think you're all going to enjoy. The final thing to say is come and support me by hitting the follow button. Remember to put the notifications on for more Marvel Contest of Champions related stories. So hit the link in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment, and download the Amino app today. Thanks very much to Amino for sponsoring this video, and as well, if you want to check out that app, go to the link in the description as well as the pinned comment. And as well, make sure to hit the like button for this video. That would be absolutely amazing. Let's get into the news stories today. Our first story is, have we seen any update on the Cull Obsidian situation? Back late last month, we talked about the problems experienced by the pausing of the Thanos favor buffs. And for whatever reason, this didn't seem to be working as standard. On July 10th, it was noted that the game team were looking further into this and they would update this particular forum-based thread. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's an update in sight. And this may be due to a few things, like it being holiday time. Maybe there's not many people in to then deal with this. Maybe there's extended leave for everybody. It is really hard to tell, or maybe it's a case they can't find the issue out too easily. Either way, for a lot of players, they would love to see improvements to this particular problem, which has been plaguing people for coming up to about a month. But as soon as we get an update, I'll let you know in a Marvel Contest of Champions news. In other news, and Cull Obsidian isn't alone. It seems like pre-fight ability issues are being experienced by Human Torch. Now, again, based on the fact that maybe the game isn't being too active for people to the point of them reporting back these issues, as it is the summer months, it does look like this has gone by the wayside, and it's certainly something that I've not picked up, because this is now approaching a month of an issue for people. From reading through this thread, and a link to it is in the description down below, it seems that this is in content that is, well, more competitive or a little bit more scaled up, like Alliance Quest and Alliance Wars. For a lot of players going in with a Human Torch, they're like, well, what's happening with this? And in a nutshell, this is for Human Torch absorbing persistent charges to then get in-game benefits from damage output. Either way, if you're feeling you're experiencing this particular issue, go to the link in the description. It will take you here, and you can post your feedback to the developer, who are kind of onto this, but I wouldn't say completely onto this, to maybe look into it a bit further. Fingers crossed, if you are still experiencing a problem, it is resolved at a later date, and I'll update you in Marvel Contest of Champions news if we get any further information. Next, and something that always strikes a debate, is whether or not you feel there are too many godlike champions in the wrong type of classes. Yes, for a lot of players, back a long ass time ago, when we had Mystics as the greatest of all time, the MVPs, the godlike champions, those days have gone. Mystic Dispersion being nerfed, as well, you know, we got Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch that have been nerfed in the 12.0 debacle, whatever you want to call that. But the fact is, nowadays you don't really hear too much of Mystic based champions being god tier, especially with Ebony Maw being put in. Simply Supreme is fantastic, but the only reason that we want to see more is because we love those glory days of those amazing Mystics that were the greatest of all times, and now, well, they're sadly not there anymore. This starts a great discussion from people talking about comic book lore, they're talking about the game lore, they're talking about structure, and also other champions that maybe you wouldn't see put into games, being put into games, and whether or not feeling that those particular champions should be as powerful as they are. Free to Play 21 even comes up with a fantastic list of champion ideas of characters in the Marvel Universe that could be put into game, and at the same time be potential god tier for the game if they were put in under Mystic and as well as the tech lines. And at this moment, a wild Kabam mic appears and says, if we had this conversation a couple of years ago, it would be going a very different way, with Mystics being the top of everyone's mind and mutants lagging quite far behind, but not as far behind as science. The contest is always changing. With each new edition, we see the power dynamic of classes change. This will continue to happen, and I wouldn't be surprised if the same thread pops up in a year from now asking for new, strong, cosmic or mutant champions. Now that's a very good point. What has happened in the last 2 years? In the last 2 years, we've seen the Mystic Dispersion nerf, but also when it comes to champion additions, what's happened? In 2017, we had Hood, Dormammu, Mephisto, and Morningstar. In 2018, we only had Symbiote Supreme, and so far we've only seen Ebony Maw and Diablo for 2019, both of which have been really poorly rated in the community. But if you look back at 2017, Hood, Dormammu, and Mephisto, out of those, I think you've got utility with Hood, Dormammu, Mephisto, and Morningstar is a fantastic questing champion. And then we've got 2018 with Symbiote Supreme, an amazing champion and really highly rated in the community. But we really need something that is going to whet our appetites, especially to get that kind of godlike status back to at least one champion. Because let's face it, there's been lots of god tiers from other different classes, maybe less so much when it comes to tech and slightly when it comes to skill, but mainly we'd love to see more love towards tech as well as Mystic god tiers. But I may be completely wrong, and have at it in the comments section if you disagree with that. And at the same time, if you want to have an opinion on this particular thread, go to the link in the description down below. In other kind of Marvel-ish type news that's sort of associated with the game, if you want to really find out where the design for Mysterio's suit in Spider-Man Far From Home, go to this link in the description down below and it'll give you this really eye-opening concept design, which I thought was a very interesting read. Someone put it onto the Facebook community page, so go and check it out. Now on to our final story, which is arena predictions. All my predictions at the moment are down below if you want to check them out, but let me just walk you through them. From the information I've gathered, and do bear in mind, go back to Marvel Contest of Champions True Contest page, link is in the description, and I'll give you an update on this particular stuff and give you the final results. But it is as follows. 12.6 mil will give you a stealth suit Spidey, and I do think that is going to be the same thing for round 2. Also, when it comes to Doc Ock, 1.6 mil I was seeing, maybe go with 1.7 mil to be safe. It's better to be safe than sorry on this, but I don't think you're going to see a high cutoff for this champion. If you do want to get yourself a 3-star stealth suit, whatever we're going to call it, stealthy, then you can do 1.2 mil. I would probably say to put in about 1.3 mil just to be safe on this. It did go a little bit lower than normally expected with a 1.5 mil, but still you can put a little bit less in order to bag yourself that champion or the Sneaky Awakening. And then finally the 5-star version, if you are going for it, I'm going with 61 mil. It's the only one that's been put up as information of results, but it could be a case this will drop a lot further, as this was position 99 and we have 250 I believe in order to get that score, so it could be a lot lower than that, even pushing close to what I thought was about 50 mil for that particular champion. And there we have it. That has been Marvel Contest of Champions news for Monday the 15th of July 2019. Thanks again to Amino for sponsoring this video. Check out the link in the description as well as the pinned comment if you want to get onto Amino and follow my stories there. And thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.